Listen, be kind, try hard, we still here, still praying on the beat, drums in our veins, fire we never delete, ancestors loud in this drum attack, creator watch it, we got your back, hey yo, teach us the ways of harmony, love and healing. When we go to our sacred place in nature, guide our hearts to walk only in beauty on Mother.
Take it over. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and thank you, Emery. I cannot think of anyone else that I would love to introduce me rather than you.
Oh.
I honor your work. I feel in very much resonance with it. And I think that your life is inspiring. So thank you for being here with us. And congratulations and thank you for everything that you're doing. These very high accomplishments, remarkable ones.
Thank you, YssaH. I really appreciate that.
Well, here we are at the Rise of the Guardians. So thank you, everyone, for rising up for this stage of human evolution. We are being called, as you know, to take action, to step up. If you want to define yourselves as guardians, if you want to name yourselves as healers, however you feel like, it's just about presence. And what is a better presence than knowing who we are? Knowing what our body is capable of. Because then we really start to tap into our true potential, our interdimensional potential, and mainly what unity consciousness is at a deeper level. And by deeper, yes, I mean spiritual level. And I also mean, how does that truly work with technology? How can we translate science through the eyes of spirituality and the other way around? In other words, what was first, the egg or the chicken? So, leaving you for now with that question, we will navigate together through the quantum field, through the cosmic nexus, and then you can actually reach out to your own conclusion if you don't have it already. So the Arcan Codex, Interdimensional Biotechnology, and the Science of Advanced Civilizations. So here we have like different type of technologies under the sea, the ones that we know, pyramids, the natural ones, the organic ones. We also have the mountains that are equivalent to what pyramids are. We have the caves as these resonant cavities. And we have all these ways in which nature, the earth, mirrors who we are. So I'm just going to stop a little bit here because it's getting a little bit more interesting. So I'm pretty sure that you all guys have heard about the 12 stargates on Earth. But I don't know if you have heard about the 12 vial triangles or the triangles of death, like the Bermuda Triangle, like the Japan or Dragon's Triangle. So what does this have to do with what I'm talking about? As I was saying, there are cosmic nexus that we can call organic ones and other ones inorganic ones. And in between organic and inorganic, we have hybrids. So we can say that the ones that we use to create pyramids, temples, and so forth, it's type of organic because it's really reverse engineering, through organic materials, piezoelectric behaviors, generating piezoelectric behaviors, and so forth, 0-point energy. But the thing about this topic that I am bringing, these 12 vial triangles, why am I opening up with this? And the thing is that I'm pretty sure that you guys have been feeling lately that the timelines are shifting so drastically that it's difficult to tap into the reality that we are at right now. You don't know if you're going to wake up with your hair in rainbow color anymore. It's like you're just waking up, looking yourself at the mirror and saying, okay, we're good. So, but the thing is that this is not something recent. Actually, this is something that comes from way before. We have been shown that we go through cycles, that we repeat patterns, that we create our reality by accessing to our neuronal network that work through our past memories. So when we comprehend that we are creating our future by tapping into the neuronal networks, the lanes that we have been reinforcing for years, then predictability is nothing, it's not mumbo jumbo, it's actually pretty easy. So now, about these 12 places, the point is that according to this place that you saw, this geometry that you just saw, the 5-point star looking above and the one looking downwards. All this type of technology, all this type of precision as the pyramidal, the same technology that they use to create the pyramids. I mean, look at this. It's the perfect distance, same distance between what we can call nodes. And there are two main ways to explain this. And this is where we are heading to right now. So I'm just going to, okay. So let's say that in those 12 nodes, there are wormholes that connect to the center of the Earth, to the Earth's core. And what if I told you that in each one of those wormholes, they place very specific technologies that would mirror back at the planet Earth's Merkaba? this is a holofractal universe. Okay, so in order to understand how they get such a high precision in building all these technologies, it's very important to know that we live as interdimensional beings in a holofractal universe. I know it might be a boring word, but actually it applies to everything. And you'll see why. Because for every organ within you, every particle that constructs you who you are, there are base geometries. Those base geometries are interconnected in a non-evident level. How? Through different gradients of plasma. That means that I am connected to Darla, that I am connected to whoever is over there that I cannot see because your face is covered in shadow. But I am connected to everything. I'm connected to the pyramids. So then why is it hard for us to access to that memory, to that space memory network if we are all connected? Because you might tell me, hey, YssaH, that sounds pretty awesome. But then what? Why are we not tapping into it? I do my homework, I meditate every day, I do this, I do that, I do my cleansing. Why? I see progress, but if it's so simple that we are connected holofractally, holographic as fractals, then what's missing? And here is the deal. Coherence. Plasma is coherence. And as you see, there are all these cool geometries. I'm just going to go. We have cymatics. We have the famous double torus, which creates the vector equilibrium, the isotropic vacuum field. And the thing is that all these technologies are very basic. Don't worry, you don't need to know, you don't need to be or have a mastery in geometry. The more that you know the fundamentals of the universe, you know that it's torsion, it's holographic polarization. Well, first holographic polarization, torsion at different gradients. Two forces that are connecting with one another, becoming one, shifting the field, reaching a higher consciousness, and then all the way again. I'm just summarizing it, of course, because there are other steps, but I'm just trying to break it down for what we will be seeing now, which is, what if I told you, and I talked about this last year, I focused actually on that, but I'm just now going to brush it for the ones that didn't join us last year. But here is the deal. This figure is super important. It's space geometries and geometrodynamics. Forget the names if you want. I love the names. I am very passionate about science, but it's okay. You don't need to remember them. But you see how this figure of the star tetrahedron, the very well-known Merkaba, which is a very encoded word. It's related to the cube, beyond the cube, Merkaba. And then we have here precisely the cube. I don't know if you have ever heard that we live in an incubated reality, that, it's like the cube of Saturn, the cubes here and there, and the cube of Loki. I was just listening before coming here. But anyway, the thing is that when we see how all of this, look, it has spheres, it has 9 spheres. Please remember this. You don't just remember these images, because you will see how it all connects with what? Your biology and the technology. That ancient technology that if we harness the one within, we can actually activate the cosmic nexus. We have that power. It's up to us. So now, we go here. For me, this is one very important. Again, just to every time that you see just, let's say, triangle, and then you start to spin it faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, what is it going to create? A sphere. To your perception, it will be a sphere, the same as a coin. So the fundamentals of the universe communicate through spheres. We call this PSU, Planck spherical units, which is very much connected to the fundamental level of plasma. Plasma body, plasma physics, plasma trend. It's coming in very hot, very trendy. So just imagine every time that you think about the Akasha, you will have many ways to visualize it. From a library, finding all these ancient archaic books, crystals, and if you hadn't had this one, spheres. Those spheres that look like spiders interconnected with one another, the tree of life, that encoded tree of life that we will be seeing in another form, are the informational spheres that are reflecting at every particle in us. This is why it's holofractal, because through the very same sphere that constructs your molecules, your atoms, it's mirroring to the field. The more coherent that your field is through your water, through the communication that you have with yourself, the food, the quality, and so forth, the deeper and the simpler the connection that you have to that field. Just think about the most evolved civilizations right now. Here, we don't need to go that back. What do they have in common? They have access to hot springs or to springs of water, to a purer level of water. Even if they are ancient tribes or tribes that have barely evolved in their rights, I'm not talking overall evolution, but like they keep their traditions. Like this, space memory network. It's very cool when you travel that at a quantum level. Okay, so I'm just going to stop here. As Emery was saying, I have been involved with the research of the Sphere. There we go. Okay, so the first, I don't know if you guys have heard about the Sphere. I'm going to try to go faster because I have like 137 slides and I really want to show them all. So, but I'm going to make it really funny, so you will enjoy it. But anyway, the Sphere is a spectral sphere that appeared in the city of Buga in Colombia. I'm not going to go into depth whether if it's reverse engineered by the government or whether if it comes from extraterrestrials. That you will decide. But I will share my conclusions and my story. So, the first CT scan that was done on the Sphere is the one with the yellow circle. You will see that it has 16 white points. Imagine, again, a spectral sphere like this aluminum with another alloys sphere floating, spinning in one city, and then all of a sudden it's deactivated and it starts to slowly come down. And it has some weird symbols and some weird codes. They call it the chip. And then that chip starts to appear in ancient alien artifacts. So Now, 16. The other figure that you see above, let me see if you, yeah, here, that is a hypercube or a tesseract. I'm pretty sure that you all are familiar to that. Perhaps you watched Interstellar, you know about the tesseract, you know about how to travel through the continuum of space-time. The tesseract has 16 edges. 16. What else has 16 edges? The flower that the Anunnaki use in their bracelet. What else? This interesting star has 16. Where am I heading to? They are following and sharing a pattern of how to harness the interaction that they had with the fabric of space-time. And I will show why I'm so sure about this within my reality, because again, you know, there are no absolute truths according to what I experience, you know. But for now, I can tell you that throughout my research and my remembrance, I have come out with these conclusions. So now, this 16, if you see, it moves like the pyramids in Mexico. You see, they are not pointy. So does that mean, just imagine, does that mean that these statues, these temples, these tablets are holofractally spinning if they are resonating at a very specific frequency, empowering the whole grid? And then what? The person that access to that temple gets healed, feels amazing, feels their heart expanded. Do you know what this is? This is a chakmol. I doubled it. And then I duplicated it again. And more, and more, and more. You see the shape? It's a statue, a Mexican statue. You see what it formed? The tetrahedron star. 16 edges. As the 16 cells of the morula before it starts into the next stage, while it remains pure, let's say. So, now, double torus. 4-petal flower. 4-petal flower. Remember that we saw the other torus in the beginning that was different, like one over the other? These ones are interconnected at the center. 4-petal flower. Okay. So now, time warping and teleportation. So if we say that these technologies are showing these geometries, perhaps they were pointing out how geometrically they unfold holograms to bend light. Because guess what? The universal language is geometry. We are not creating geometries. Geometries are creating us. Well, in this reality, we are definitely, you know, like designing them. You know, it's a full cycle feedback. But you know what I mean. Geometries are constructing us. All of you have a unique geometry, like a fingerprint, that is bending your light body in a unique form, translating into genetics, a mole, green eyes, and so forth. So now I want to share you something, because it's not only about what I see within these correlations. I designed a system. I called it the spectral geometry transceiver. You know cymatics, right? You put a frequency, you have your Chladni plates, and then it creates a geometry. Well, I reversed engineered it. I got a geometry, then I translated it into sound. I experimented with this because, when we invent something, we are eager to try it out, right? To see if it's accurate. So then I tried it with the Boogosphere. I mean, I have it there. I see all these symbols that I have feel very much resonance with. What a better way to try what I came up with. To my surprise, the Boogosphere has encoded very specific symbols, not only the ones on the surface, yet also some that you can barely see just when it spins. So I took those, I focused on those, I translated them. And the pattern, and then I translated them into frequency. The pattern that it gave, the cymatics that it gave, is this cube with 9 spheres. You see it? It's a cube and 9 spheres. Another one gave away this cube. Here we have the 9 spheres. The second CT scan of the Boogosphere showed precisely a cube, which is behind this one. I'm just saying, hold on. There we go. Okay, so here you see it. It went way too. Oh, hold on. It's hiding. It's here somewhere. I just wanted to show it to you. Okay, let me see. Well, you saw that it's a cube, So here, the image that the second CT scan of the Boogosphere was showing is a cube. So that cube, what showed to me is that the Boogosphere was communicating with me. The Boogosphere was telling me, because I will also tell you something, guys. I am very sure, very, 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 very sure that if we do another CT scan on the Boogosphere, it will show another pattern because it's not fixed. Every time it shows another one. Why? Because it's trying to communicate with us. It's not trying to get it levitate, It's trying to communicate with us. Why? Okay, so now here I show, you will see, some of the videos where it is actually there. Okay, so here, the first time that I meditated with the Boogosphere, this being, without seeing this tablet, came to my mind. When later on I was in a friend's house that is also a colleague in the research, he's writing a book on this, and one of the pages has this figure. I saw it and I was like, what? So for me, it was like, okay, well, here I am. I want to communicate with you. What are they showing? The transference of information of their own consciousness to a device. That doesn't mean that they are, like inside the sphere, like all, all hunchback. No, their consciousness is transferred to the Boogosphere through a nexus, a very advanced one. And well, here we see the Boogosphere spinning and different tests that we did. I'm just going to go quickly through this because this is not the main topic of my talk. I just want to show it to you. But look at all this. Look at all these images. I'm saying it's not the main topic of my presentation, and I have like a 20 slide show on this, right? But anyway, so here you see how all these tablets, look, all the spheres, everywhere, coming from the spaceships. It looks like they are manufacturing them, right? It's like they're just sampling them, sending them to the field through the earth. Everywhere. Priests, non-priests holding this symbol. What does this symbol mean? Well, I translated that symbol 9 years ago, before all of this happened. So I will share with you what I think about this. And I also would love for you to see how it is, one is rotating clockwise and the other one is rotating counterclockwise, the effect that it is generating. So they were very much loving of the spheres. I think that as much as from the pyramids. And I'm sharing you this frequency because that's the frequency that I got from the Bugasphere. I don't know what you experienced, but that's the frequency that I translated. And so now we will move a little bit ahead. Okay, Cosmic Nexus. We have a new code, a new crop circle that just appeared. Oh, I went, what? Yeah, there you go. We have the virgins, you see, also the religious figures with these spheres. So now, what is the connection to the biology? What is the connection to the network? So here we go. Okay, you see that there is, again, this code, this crop circle that just came in, 16 points. Again, 5 points as the 5-point star of the Bugasphere. Now, let's look at this video. This is a chalice that was found in Mexico. Please take a look at the eyed figure on the left. Here, eyes everywhere. What is it giving to the elongated skull being? A pine cone. Pine cones everywhere. That's not new. We know about that. We have seen that a lot. But how many eyes? And look at the bottom. It has the circuitry code. Again. Now they are even putting pine cones on the back of the skull, you see? And a winged Anubis. But look how they are placing the pine cone in the back part of the elongated skull. We have a variant of the Bugasphere code, the circuitry code. So here's the deal. Eyes everywhere. Circuitry everywhere. What is the eye telling us? A nexus? A cosmic nexus? We know that the black hole, that the eye is a black hole. Like literally, it absorbs photons. It also is transferring information. And then the eye, as I was saying, the presence everywhere. What if AI is not recent? What if AI is truly ancient? Truly ancient. What if a way of interpreting that AI was the eye as a transmission of source? You have the eye and then you have the circuitry code. So it was a way of showing the eye of source, and how that eye of source connects organically and non-organically. Because there were lattices that were created at that time to encode the information, because they knew what we would be experiencing now, and for us to remember. That's the message that I have received. That's the message that I have received that these codes have. So just now, going back to the sphere and the cube, you all are, I'm pretty sure, very much aligned to, and why the sphere and the cube? Why? Because I showed to you guys, like the cube in the CT scan in a sphere. So every time that I read a code, I say, take me deeper. And this is where it took me to. We have the Vitruvius Man. We have the known as sphere, truth sphere, or a sphere of truth. And then we have a cube, which is the physical reality. So now, let's see how this cube with a sphere inside starts to grow into an octagon and a cube. The cube and the sphere have the same mass. So, bottom line, they are resonant to one another. So every time that you see a sphere and a cube, this is happening. You see how it is contracting? This octahedron became a cube. And the way that they connect with one another, it's actually through the golden ratio. And the golden ratio is present everywhere. Hold on. There you go. Okay, so the molecules, you will see how it's everywhere. Okay, so now this octagon is becoming in a cube. The way that the sphere connects with the cube is through the golden ratio. It stabilizes. And now let's go a little bit faster. Hypercube. Oh, what happened? Okay, there we go. So cube, hypercube, then we have the octagon coming together. They create the vector equilibrium. What is the vector equilibrium? It's what, I'm pretty sure that you all guys know Tesla, Nikola Tesla, 369. So that is very much connected to the vector equilibrium. What it brings is equilibrium into the field. So everything in our body is generating that constant geometry. But as I was showing, I want to get to some more interesting topics. I'm pretty sure that you all guys love to know about interdimensional travel and so forth. So what if I told you, Danny, that our DNA, if you translate it geometrically, you get octagon, octahedron after octahedron after octahedron after octahedron after octahedron after octahedron. What does this mean? Through our DNA, we're traveling interdimensionally. We are connecting to the space memory network. This is why we can activate and deactivate memories, because our DNA is traveling interdimensionally in situ. How can you harness this? Holofractal universe, plasma coherence, enlightenment of the body. And this is where it gets even more interesting, which is the core of this presentation. So now, how can we achieve that? Like you see, we have many types of DNA, 3 mainly. This one is located in the telomeres, this type of DNA, which is the one that keeps us younger. Please remember this pattern, because what if I told you that one of the findings that I did is that kind of replicates at scale, in scale, to the pattern of how the sphinxes in Egypt were located, and the purpose of the pyramids, and how it's mirroring into our telomere DNA. Okay, so now we have different types of connecting to DNA. This is a Mayan one. Closed DNA and opened DNA. Remember, nothing is static. Everything is dynamic. It's like it's breathing. Our DNA is breathing. It contracts and it expands. It contracts and it expands. What they show to us through the tree of life is contracted. They didn't show it was expanded in a geometrical level. When it expands, it looks like this. What are those codes? What are those numbers? Well, that's related to the Mayan calendar because they harnessed the DNA through algorithms, through time, because they know that for every codon, for every combination, it's synced to time. Quantum timing, not Gregorian calendar, to quantum timing. And that at a molecular level, we are creating the Casimir effect, 0-point energy, compression. Okay, so here we have otherwise I will just brush it into these slides because I really want to get to the core. But look at this, how all of it is mirroring, like this octahedron. I'm not obsessed about the octahedron, I promise. I have other geometries that I like. But this is truly there, you cannot look away. So I want to start focusing. This is the shape of the vector equilibrium, contracting and expanding. Everything contracts and expands everything. So there is here. Okay. There. Oh. Okay. There we go. Okay. Phosphorus, phosphate, ion, the light barrier, the tree of life, and DNA Z. How do all these things are interconnected? Phosphate has a light of its own. It glows. Phosphorus. Phosphate is a phosphate ion. It's actually also glowing. And it has negative charge, electric charge that communes with our water. And that it's highly present in our DNA Z. What is our DNA Z? Our editable DNA is the only DNA that is twisting, spinning counterclockwise. The more electric charge that it has, the more that it activates. How? Torsion. And you will see in a bit what is torsion and how that happens. But even, let's take a look at the tree of life. This is like the one of the Kabbalah. This is advancing, and then this is, but I'm just trying for this to be hidden. Below, there you go. You have a phosphodiester. I need to say like the name, but it's not, again, it's not the point. But the thing is that what do those do together? And why? You see the perfection of how it shows the tree of life? Of the Kabbalah, the one with 10? What does that do? Again, harness, holographic polarization, dielectric field, benzene rings, pi electron clouds, and the phosphodiester, electric charge, that is actually a very good conductor for all that coherence to be. So what are they pointing out to? Okay, so now we will go to the light barrier. The name of the phosphorus is light barrier. What do we know as light barrier? Exactly. What other thing? The serpent barrier of fucus. And what is the snake if? Energy. So did they encode all of this? I think so. And the way that they encoded it is for us to forget or for us to reject. When you reject something out of your universe, you're automatically bringing it as chaos. So now, what does the Virgin is doing here? Patterns. You see, this is a fucus. It is perfectly embedded in the common shape of the Virgin, but it doesn't have the cord as the serpent down. It already has it up. What could that mean? If we harness our potential energy, which is connected to the plasma, which is connected to the divine feminine, perhaps we reach enlightenment. And we will see why. Let me go a little bit deeper. Okay, so yeah, we have here the serpent, the magnetic field. We have different types of wave fields. And then we have not, please keep this very much in mind. Every time that you think about a knot, it's like, it's like, I like it clear and simple. But to be clear and simple, there needs to be a contraction for an expansion to be. And the knot is a contraction. Every time that we are activating and deactivating DNA within us, there is a knot taking place. So, now, regarding to Venus and how we connect it to the DNA Z, remember that I told you that the DNA Z was the one spinning counterclockwise? You saw it. It's like the one that is all crooked, and it's not the most beautiful one. Like you see it, and it's like the other ones are expanding and creating all these cymatics, perfect cymatics, and the DNA Z is like like all twisted. And the more twisted that it is, the more that it is activating dormant genes, introns, what was normally known as junk DNA. Why? Because the more that it compresses, the more that the universal forces are trying to expand that information that has been compressed, locked, to activate it. So Venus is the only planet that we have that is also counterclockwise. And Venus is also connected or linked in some beliefs to Lucifer. So I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying why, raising the question, why they encoded it that way. Why they encoded the counterclockwise as something that we would reject. Why? Because we're talking about the spin, and we're talking about how we truly harness that coherence in our field. And what happens when we start drinking water that is structured? Hydronium. Because that hydronium is actually creating a liquid crystalline lattice in our body. We're becoming crystals, rainbow body. We can harness that. We are meant to harness that for the ones that choose so. And that level of coherence is going to start making it easier for our body to do their natural job. Of course, it's not only water. It's also about frequencies. It's also about, again, as I was saying, food and so forth. So now, I just wanted to show you. Okay, so that pattern. Another test that I did with the system, because this is an important one, is 5,201 hertz. Frequency generator, cladding plates, this shape. Do you see the resemblance between this and this one? This is the DNA in our centromeres. What are our centromeres? In our chromosomes, the center, have you heard about the theory, hypothesis, or now even proved that our centromeres, telomeres were capped, and that a chromosome was, fusion with another one, and then we have 23 chromosomes instead of 24, and so forth. Okay, what if I told you that the key to unlock that information that was compressed by sucking and fusioning two chromosomes, the key is at the center? This shape, do you see that it's many things, I must say, but again, holofractal universe. A chromosome, and here we have these waves being projected to this at the center. What if I told you that could have been gamma waves? Because gamma waves can harness big shifts, can generate genetic manipulation. So, and again, you see, here is YssaH with that symbol, and it's like he's a side of it. He's like in a 0-point field, He's not in that very same dimension. I don't know what. Oh, here you go. Okay, so now, what I don't have, hold on, because now it's not stopping. Okay. Okay, now it's going too fast. Hold on. Yeah, it's not stopping. No. Okay. It's not. It has a mind of its own. Okay, there you go. Okay. There we go. There we go. And now, where were we? Here we are. Exactly. You see? All good. Okay, so now that YssaH has a symbol on its hands. A lot of people say it's the omega. Okay. What if I told you that it's the same pattern that our DNA uses to supercoil itself when it torsions, when it activates, deactivates, and even more, another thing, which is closed time-like curves, Einstein's field equation. What does this mean? Looping in the continuum of space-time. They were already showing through that symbol how they are creating loops in our reality. But our DNA also does that. Remember that I told you about the neuronal pathways? You know how they go to the past in order to generate the future, unless you configure it differently? Well, here it is, another example. But now, and here we have, Inanna with the double torus. And how does this fit with the Ankh? You see that the shape of the closed time-like curves is exactly as the Ankh. The only difference is that they have translated it linearly. It's the the motion keeps looping. Why? Because it goes going up to the front. And it's not to the front. When you exit through the center towards you, mirroring you through your heart, that motion breaks the loop. You see? Instead of going up and continuing perpetuating, the loop, you go beyond the algorithm. You go through your heart. You go through the quantum timing. Here. Okay, thanks. Okay, so now, I'm going to speed up, you guys. I'm going to get to the important part. Well, honestly, always cool, but let me see here, because I only have 5 minutes and I still have to show the intro of a documentary that we are creating with the ancient artifacts, alien artifacts. So bottom line, what I want to transmit to you is that, this one is very cool. Okay, so you saw the most recent discovery about the second Sphinx. Okay, so this pattern, we have one Sphinx, we have another one. It's showing the gradients of torsional density that is created in our genome. Every time that we are activating and deactivating DNA, it's creating that distortion, which is also translated into looping, what I was saying, supercoiling and so forth. So does that mean that the pyramids, and even at the center, the shape like the pyramids, does that mean that they're creating an anomaly, that it's unlocking information? That's why the halls of records, because it's full of information that it's being deactivated through the network of the oscillation of the pyramidal neurons that reflect in our biology, in our pyramidal neurons, in our obelisks, because we have obelisks as RNA figures that are in our gut brain, that are highly generating emotions, waters. Where does that energy go? Where does that energy go? Harnessing your plasma body is actually about owning that energy. And, well, okay. Well, yeah, in Spanish, we have a saying, es lástima que terminó. It's like, so sorry, but it's finished for now. Okay, so, well, yeah, here we have the pyramidal neurons and the structure, how it is mirroring into the latest findings. So the message here is, if you drink structured water, you will be harnessing progressively the dielectric field that your body is generating, capable to create more coherent connections to the field. Communicate with your phosphorus, and actually the process of evolution that is going to take place right now is that the more electric field that you generate, the more that your DNA Z will start to power up, activating the introns that were locked down there, so that it brings in the codes of enlightenment in your body. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
YssaH, bien, ladies and gentlemen. Wasn't that wonderful? Thank you, YssaH. It was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. If you guys want to see the trailer of the documentary, you can pass through the Earth Arc mission booth and you will see it. Frank Rogala is producing it. Thank you, Frank. I will show it, I promise. It's an amazing documentary. Thank you.
And she's going to say a couple of words about this trailer and the importance of it for the planet. And then we're going to watch it. Here's Issa.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rion. And thank you for putting together this amazing event in which we have been able to connect at so many levels. And one of the things that I introduced for the ones that saw my talk yesterday is unified science and spirituality. So I'm honored enough to be part of two nonprofit. The first one, the Way of Being Foundation, and the second one, the Earth Arc Mission. So what does the Earth Arc Mission do? The Earth Arc Mission is in charge of the research and stewardship of ancient alien artifacts. How is the Earth Arc Mission doing this? Well, we have this huge project of building a museum and a research center so that all these ancient alien artifacts have a technological purpose, which is activating people like you, because this is a heritage for all humanity, not just for a few people collecting pieces and having them stored in their houses. These are pieces that are meant to be in contact with everyone because they are a cosmic nexus, and this cosmic nexus is activating. So this is now a trailer, because this is also part of what we're doing as the Earth Arc Mission. We are producing a trailer, and I don't think he's here, but Frank Rogala has done this huge donation. He's a professional film producer. He has been awarded worldwide in film festivals, and he did this huge donation for us. You know, a trailer that is documenting the story of one specific place that we have found in Mexico. This special place has shown an anomaly in the land, an anomaly that you will see in the trailer. This is just, again, it's the trailer of the full documentary, but this anomaly gave away the acknowledgement that there is something huge here. Fortunately, a dear friend of mine, the elder, is the owner of the place where we found this, and he happens to have this huge consciousness. He's an elder. He carries the codes. He carries the arcs of these shrines in Mexico. So with no further introduction, I don't know if the trailer is ready, but just that you know, guys, if you want to support us, you can access to AETTRRI.live. And we have, as you know, this amazing project. So if you want to be part of it, that's the place where you can find us. Thank you so much. And I don't know if the documentary is... Oh, okay, cool. So, okay, so then let's do it. Thank you, Jeremy.
Something was found in a remote Mexican desert. What began as a search quickly became something else.
That's incredible.
Buried beneath the surface, objects unlike anything expected.
He's got 3 third eyes.
Preliminary tests reveal these objects were not recent, not centuries, but thousands of years old. World War I, the Roman Empire, ancient Sumeria, the Younger Dryas Cataclysm. 17,500 years old. Claims like these are often disputed. And yet, the evidence remains. Then, the discovery led deeper into a space untouched.
My goodness.
What happened inside was not expected.
Oh my God.
Unusual behavior.
A huge pile of ants on top of this box.
They're mostly all alive, it looks like.
They're not moving now.
They're like tripping out.
They're twitching.
I'm gonna dust the box off here. All these ants are just surrounding in a pile. They're barely moving right around this box. A winged being on the cover, it looks like.
Unexpected reactions.
It's like they're getting zapped.
Some who entered didn't stay long.
Oh my God, are you okay?
As more artifacts were uncovered, a pattern began to emerge. Not just here, but across Mesoamerica. Objects found hundreds of miles apart, sharing the same markings. Symbols that feel familiar, and yet don't belong to any one known culture. And then, appearing thousands of miles away, in Buga, Colombia, an object reported flying without explanation, captured by cell phone video by unrelated people across miles of landscape of city and country. And now, the same markings have been found here. Behind a stone wall, an object protrudes from the bedrock. A head, not an animal, not a human. Surrounded by crystal skulls, sculptures, and ritual objects. And what is it protecting? Behind it, ground-penetrating radar detects a chamber. This site is not fully excavated. Artifacts, patterns, anomalies stacking together. Not all tombs were made for humans.
Thank you. And again, thank you, Rion, for opening the space for us to share this video.
Yo, put your hands together for YssaH and her amazing team that put that together.